Hiya! Captain Kick!
Hey y'all, back with another episode of Big Points Theory, Game Week 29. So you might notice my fellow manager down there is missing. Actually, I'm feeling a bit lonely. Maybe I can change it. Let me see. Hey Suj, how's things? Yeah, I also did terrible in the in Game Week 27. 27 was poor, young. Dry week. But hopefully we can make it up for this week. Actually, I've got a lot to get through, so let's go straight to the injuries. Whoa, there's a lot of injuries this week. I'm thinking like United have. I mean, if I just count off the list here, it's Herrera missing, Lingard, Mata, Matic, Damian, Rojo, all these players missing, and yet Solskjaer managed to make history, being the first United manager to win 8 consecutive away games. I mean, that's actually amazing, despite all the injuries. So I've actually just got United under the injuries. Other than that, important injuries to take note of is Laporte. That's actually unfortunate. He would actually be a good source of points from City. Although I mustn't actually, before I carry on with the injuries, the big news that you have to be careful of game week 31. There's going to be a big blank there. Actually, if I could just show you, if I can just go into it, I can show you the teams that will actually be missing from this week. That's quite a few. You're going to actually want to make sure that however you pick your teams, you're going to want to make sure you plan for that week, unless you're going to use your free chip. So let's get there. Right. So this is obviously game week 33. What I actually want to show you is game week 31. So you can see there's only 5 matches. I mean, we're missing almost. I think the only big teams there is obviously Liverpool and Chelsea. We've got City missing, United, Arsenal, Spurs. All the big teams that you usually pick your players from are going to be missing. And a good few of them that you'd have like places like Watford and that are also missing. So you're going to want to pick. I mean, you're going to have to pick your poison, because if you're going to pick Everton players, you can see they're playing Chelsea. But the way Chelsea are playing, well, what they were playing recently, maybe it would be worth picking up a few Everton players. Uh, but yeah, if I were just to go back to some of the injuries, a big one also to note is Pasaka. He's going to be a big loss. There's no return date on him. But there are a couple of other cheapos that we can slot in there. Firmino, the Klopp has actually said that he probably will play for the derby, and yeah, you're gonna want to maybe load up on the Liverpool players, because as you see in game week 31, Liverpool are definitely there. So, but I would actually suggest maybe that people load up on the defense of Liverpool, because if you look at the last game week 38, Van Dijk was the one who actually got the big points. 2 goals. He was actually upset with Robertson because he could have got a hat trick. I mean, imagine a clean and a hat trick. And I saw the guy who scored the most points for the week. I think he got like 142, and he triple captain Van Dyke. I'm like, what? What? How do you do that? How do you do that? That would be like getting Kim Jong Un to denuclearize. It's a complete bloody fluke, that. But yeah, other big news. Obviously, Kane actually came back from game week 27-28, nicely to coincide with Spurs dropping down the table. I see them dropping to maybe fourth, maybe even fifth. They have some decent fixtures against Arsenal next. Oh, that's going to be nice. They were shotless against Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea, who got smashed 6-0, and then United gave them a lesson, and Spurs just couldn't come to the party. So to me, if you got like Spurs assets, I think it's time to jump ship, from that uh, particular team. Uh, what else here? Oh, Rashford obviously returned. He played a nice cameo against Crystal Palace. I think that means he's definitely going to be there. But you got to be careful, because next week is also Champions League, and that's going to interfere with some of your picks also for this week. Especially people like Pep, how he loves to win and spin. Who's going to play this week? I don't know. Um, right, and then Joe Gomez returned for Liverpool. That's like I said, load up on those. Oh no, sorry, he hasn't returned. He's actually only coming back on the 31st. So I meant to say Alex Arnold is the guy who returned. and he's pretty decent price. I think he's like 5.0. So I think if you really want to, you might want to maybe if you want to load up on like say Salah and Mane, then take get Robinson out there and then use Alexander Arnold because he's a decent points maker. What was the other thing I wanted to mention? There's actually quite a bit of team news. I wanted to say like I was actually surprised at like Newcastle how well they've been doing. Playing at home, they're like absolute beasts. They've got 2 clean sheets in the last 3 home games, and in the other home game that they had, they didn't get a clean sheet, but they beat City. So I mean that just tells you how well I think Rafa is just doing so well there. Of course, uh, is Liverpool. They obviously smashed everyone. They scored 5 goals, but the players who scored was not your boy Salah, of course. So there's that. Bournemouth. Yeah, I wanted to mention Bournemouth as well. They obviously playing. I think Bournemouth are playing, if I'm not mistaken. They are playing. Whoa, I'm going too far here. City, right. There we go. That's why now I remembered why I wanted to bring them up. They've been like horrible, horrible form recently. They got smashed by Arsenal, then Liverpool. I mean, even Cardiff bust them up. And now they're playing City, so you might want to like take advantage while you can before game week 31. Take advantage of some of the City players. Everton. Ooh, what worried me about them is not just that game. I mean, yes, they will be playing in that blank game week. But if you have a look at their fixtures, I mean, yeah, I think Everton fans are gonna cry. They're obviously playing the derby now, but if you look at the fixtures, lordy, they basically playing. If I just let me see if I can pull up the fixture. That's okay. Now look, so they're playing the derby this week, and then they have a bit of a reprieve. Let's have a look here. We are looking for have a reprieve against Newcastle. I just told you are like smashing everyone at home, so that's not an easy game for them. Then they play Chelsea away, and then again they have West Ham, not an easy game, and again it's away from home. And then they play Arsenal. They basically in the last few games that are remaining, they have to play all of the top 6, and they basically play one game where they're not against the top 6, and then the next game they have to play against the top 6. So to me, again, Everton is another team you want to just absolutely abandon. You might have seen Sigurdsson scored 2 in the last game. I mean, they actually got a pretty good result, but I would still say, give them a skip. Um, unless you really want to keep faith with someone like Digne or something, but I don't see them keeping any clean sheets in that period from like now till the end of the season. Who else I wanted to pick up? Oh, Wolves. I must say, I must lift my hand up there. I really believed in the Wolves team, but for some reason they've been struggling against the small teams, and I just don't know why. Look, they've got another chance to redeem themselves. I mean, I myself tripled up on them. They've got a chance to redeem themselves against Cardiff, and I'm hoping they're gonna do well there. We'll just have to see how they go. But after that is when it starts to get a bit iffy, their results. They haven't got any wins in 3, and then their next few fixtures are like not great, and they're also going to be missing for the blank game weeks, which is game week 31 and 33. And then of course Liverpool are playing the derby. Now you might think like I've always heard that in the derby you don't wanna pick teams like rely on fantasy points for the derby. But you know what? In this case, I actually think it's absolutely not true, because for me, if you look at when was the last time Everton actually won a game, 2010. That was the last time they beat Liverpool. So to me, Liverpool banker, 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 banker. They're gonna smash Everton, I think. And if I'm wrong, good, because I want Liverpool to lose. Yeah. And then the other team you might want to pay attention to is actually Chelsea. They did win that game against Spurs. And to be honest, this is actually maybe the best time to buy because their assets are, a bit cheaper than they might have been. They haven't really been performing, and a lot of people, especially for players like Hazard, they've dropped him en masse. I mean, 800,000 of managers basically transferred him out in the last couple of weeks. So to me, if you really want a good differential, you want to look at maybe Chelsea. Although you have to also be careful there. Maybe the defense will be better to pick from instead of like the strikers or something like that. Although if you want to really take a chance, go for Higuain. Right. So what else we have next? Okay, now let's go to some of the player picks that I wanted to mention. So let's actually start with the negatives. So Salah obviously bit of a dry spell last couple of games. Although in the one game, obviously he was playing United, and hey, who can blame him? Luke Shaw had him in his pocket, nothing he could do there. I don't blame you, Salah. I don't blame you. But the last game he played, actually he did pretty well. I thought he was gonna definitely get some goals. He hit the post. He just didn't make up the points. But if you look at his partner in crime, Mane, with Firmino not there, I see that Mane is actually being kind of moved to the forward position, and in that in the same time that him and Salah have been playing, Mane has 6 goals in 6, whereas Salah's only had like 1 in 5. So maybe it might be time to jump from Salah. I mean, he's really expensive and he's getting you nothing. Like, get 1 goal, like nothing in 2 games, then 1 goal, then nothing in 2 games. He's usually gone 2 game spells before he scores again. But I mean, it's a very expensive move to keep him. But then again, you have got to think about the double game week. Maybe you just want to stick him out for a while. Liverpool do have some very good fixtures, so yeah, I think maybe you can stick with him. Moving on to Son. Yeah, Son's had 2 blanks now as well, but he's similar to Salah in the sense that he's just missed, like he scores a goal and then he gets 2 blanks and then he scores again. But the thing that's bringing me a bit down on him this time is, since Kane has come back, it's obviously he's no longer up front, so maybe his chances become less. And also Arsenal have been a bit resurgent, with guys like Mkhitaryan and stuff like that have been doing, like Mkhitaryan's form has picked up, and I really think that Ozil coming back into that team is making a difference. The one key thing you might say is that Spurs are playing at home, and Arsenal have been not that good away from home. So if you were going to stick with Son, okay, fine. But it's a bit of a risk you're taking. I would maybe suggest you move to Mane or something like that, especially considering that game week 31, neither of those teams are going to be playing. Another guy I wanted to punt is Jamie Vardy, and actually his midfield buddy Madison, because now that Brendan Rodgers has left Celtic, he's come in there and they've won a game already. And in the last 3 games, Vardy's actually scored 2, and he's actually a bit cheap now. I think he might be at like 8.8. So he actually might be a very nice differential to have in your team, especially when you consider that Leicester, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if I can have a look up here, I think Leicester will be playing, yes, and they'll be playing against Burnley, even though it is away from home. But I'm going to bet a little bit on Rodgers to pick them up. I mean, he was doing a fantastic job at Celtic, so maybe he can pick Leicester up, and Vardy and Madison, and maybe even consider Maguire. He'll be key, especially since you want to make sure your team has players for that blank game week. Uh, who else did I want to take note of? Oh, yeah, Suj mentioned last week. Oh, he caught me nicely with this one, which was a Shar from Newcastle. Again, their form really, he spotted it early. I should have paid attention to it. He's got 2 clean sheets and he got 2 goals and an assist, and then he even got a man of the match award in each of his last, like, not each, in his last 5 games. So I'm not so too sure about Newcastle away from home, but at home, they're doing well. So I would definitely consider putting Shari in, and he's like what 4.7, so he's super cheap. The other thing you want to consider is, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, I was talking about Madison earlier. He got his first assist for the season. He created like 5 chances, I think, against Brighton. You know, so actually, there's quite a few differentials to look at. And like I said, I'm trying to focus on those teams that are actually going to be playing in game week 31 as well. Yeah, so that's about it for that pieces of information. Let's move on to the captain picks. So if I move on to the captain picks, I'm gonna try and go through this a little quicker. Yeah, let's move to it now. Captain picks for the week. Okay, so yeah, you might be wondering why we're not seeing Aguero and like Aubameyang and stuff like that. Well, I've mentioned already, Aubameyang, I don't trust him against the bigger teams. I think he's also, like I said, a flat track bully. So you're more likely to rely on him against some of the cheaper teams, and also when he's at home, not away from home. So that's why I didn't include him. Aguero. Now, of course, you might think, but Aguero is the best. He is, but I must say that his away form is also not, he leaves something to be desired. And the other thing is, he played, I mean, in that West Ham game, I mean, he looked tired. Yeah, he got okay. Sure, he scored the penalty, so you might want to rely on him on penalties. But if you want to, especially if you want to build up your team for game week 31, you're gonna want to get rid of maybe Aguero so that you can start filling up on Liverpool players or even Chelsea players. So that's why I've kind of left him out. So out of those four that I've got there, Sterling, well, he has in the last three games, I think he hasn't actually like come on. He hasn't started the games and he hasn't played 90 minutes, you know. So he actually had like a bit of a cameo, and as soon as he came on, he did a lot better against West Ham than the other players were doing, you know. So to me, he's a guaranteed banker to me to play for this game. And like I told you, against Bournemouth, who have been just leaking those goals. It does. I don't know. They got like a massive hole that bucket they're trying to throw. It's not helping them. So to me, Sterling is a big banker for captain, although he's playing away from home. He's also, I think, gotten double points hauls in each of his last three starts. So clearly, he's like on a high. And they're only going to play Man City. Only going to play Champions League not next week, but 2 weeks from now. And I think they not like they're safe. I don't think they in real trouble there anyway. So to me, Sterling's the one to consider. I think also Jesus might also be missing. So Sterling's gonna have more impetus, like to be, or rather, Pep will have more. He'll want to push Sterling more forward, you know. Moving on to Mane. So Mane, obviously, like I said, I mentioned before, he's already scored 6 in 6. So he's like the Liverpool's form player. So I would actually trust him, and he's a hell of a lot cheaper than Salah, you know. So I would definitely want to go for him. Moving on to Pogba. Well, Pogba, he's like the form player, you know. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists in the last four. I mean, he's playing every game for United. And the big pro for me, he's not playing in Champions League, even though United play Champions League. Got 2 yellow cards, so he's gonna want to take all his frustration out, and he's gonna want to smash Southampton. I hope we smash Southampton, but I'm counting on Solskjaer to make our unbeaten streak continue. You know, and then on my last pick is Jimenez. Again, this is a differential pick, of course. Uh, yeah, look, he's got the goals in the last few. He hasn't really done anything because Wolves have been kind of struggling. So I'm hoping they're going to change that against Cardiff. And I did mention Vardy was the other guy I might consider for a captaincy as a differential as well. But yeah, hopefully a lot of the FPL managers are going to want to keep the faith with Salah, and then you can bust them up with Mane as captain. Yeah. I just want to see if there's anything else that I want to mention. Um, yeah. No, I think that's about it. So yeah, thanks for joining us this week, and please don't forget to comment. Oh, before I go, I mustn't forget. There was a little, there was this little thing about a take a lot voucher. I looked at the comments and I didn't see too many, but I do think that I dare say everybody got it wrong with a 0-0 draw, the worst possible result. So to make it fair, I've decided what I'm gonna do is I'll let you guys um, try to guess out of uh, all the teams who's going to be the best performing captain for this week, and then I'll send you that take a lot voucher. Please leave your comments, your answers in the comments, and if you like what we're doing here, please make sure to like the video and subscribe. And also, don't forget, I'm looking for feedback. Obviously, this channel is very new, and we're trying to learn. We want to make it better. Is there any information that we're possibly leaving out that you want me to go over? Obviously, I know this video has been a bit long because I had quite a bit of news to get through. So if you want us to maybe shorten that, we can, or maybe start with the captain picks and then move on to the player information. We can do that as well. Otherwise, good captain picks and enjoy the weekend. See you next week. Cheers.